Alexia, welcome to our channel, and happy to see you here and have you here. So we're going to have a long conversation about your experiences being a parent, and one of the things I would love to start with is your book. So you wrote a
Yeah.
book, and could you tell a little bit about yourself first, and maybe about your book? So what's this about?
Yeah. First of all, thanks for having me. It was really nice to discover your channel because I didn't know it, and I found it very relevant to my own explorations as a parent. So yeah, that was a nice discovery for me. Who I am, a bit about who I am. So my name is Alexia. I come from Greece, hence the accent you hear. We live in the Netherlands already for 13 years now with my family. I have three kids and a husband. He has not abandoned us, even though we are like four women in the house. Like, nice of him. Not yet, not yet. We are not in puberty yet. I came to the Netherlands to study architecture. This is my study field. And then the big financial crisis started in Greece. And we were at a point with my then boyfriend that we wanted to start a family. And we thought, it would be better to just stay here. And the rest is history. And when I first became a mother, it was a big, even though we really wanted it and it was planned, like it was a big shock for us, like how it changes your life and your perspectives and your priorities and all these things. And living abroad without family around, of course, I had Skype calls and my mother visited, and there was this network that we had, but I found that there was a lot lacking. Like I found there were a lot of different theories you could read. You had attachment parenting, and then with schools you had like the Montessori or Waldorf, but it was each and every one of them were very specific, and they had almost like a hard set of rules that you should follow. And more often than not, I found myself bumping onto things that I was like, okay, I really like this type of education or parenting practice, but my intuition says that this doesn't suit me or my family. And I started blogging after the Corona years or the last year of the Corona lockdowns. I started blogging daily, and I put for myself a kind of challenge of blogging daily and recording our life and our challenges, because I really wanted to share with other parents that, I want to do my best, but obviously it doesn't always work out. And this is exactly what I wanted to share. What do you do when it doesn't work out? Like, how do you ask for help? How do you go over these troubles? And then I thought, because I am also a writer, I thought maybe I can turn that into a book. So I spent quite a lot of time. So it turned out to be like a very thick book, but the letters are big. So even us 40-year-old ladies can read easily. um, so that's the book, and it's called Eclectic Motherhood. And what eclectic means, basically, to give a simplified, like to explain a bit simplified, is basically an adjective describing how you can choose different aspects of different things and just put them together and use what you like and what resonates with you. So this is the idea. And in this book, I think that every one of us is unique. So it is actually my unique journey in motherhood. But I think many people might find it relatable because, on one hand, like we are Greeks, like we come from a Mediterranean country living in the northern country. So you do have like the experience of a cultural clash or an attempt to integrate, actually. And then it talks about raising kids without family around. And then how do you raise your kids in a way different than the way you were raised? So basically, you embark on a journey without having a map. That's the part I find quite challenging. That when you try to do things better or different, you basically start from zero. While if you decide to go with tradition and do things the way your parents did, or do things based on a very strict religious upbringing, for example, you have the rules set, so you just have to follow them, and you don't doubt yourself the whole time, which is what I do, like a lot of the time. So this book is not a book about how to parent the right way, because I have no idea, like I'm exploring, but it's more a book about feeling that you have a companion, that others are also trying to do it, trying to do things better, and sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. So how do you start again when things go wrong? And how do you also say to your children, oops, I thought it would work, it didn't, let's see how we can fix it together, or So this is what the book is about.
Yeah, I'm wondering, basically doing such a huge retrospective and observing yourself from a side, like when we do the diary. From your experience, did it bring you something, like this experience, did it give you something in your perception of yourself, yourself as a mother, as a partner, whatever aspects of your personality, but what did it bring you, this experience of journaling and then transforming this into something that you will show to other people actually?
Yeah, yeah, it was definitely enriching. First of all, because when you have three little kids, life can get very, very busy, and you don't actually find the time to get your thoughts out of your head. So for me, it was very therapeutic, just the act of sitting in the evening and writing down, okay, what happened today? What did I learn? What did I not do well? So it was also making my head more quiet. It is what many therapists also recommend with journaling. But because it is, I think it's a mistake many mothers make. I did not prioritize myself. It was always, what the kids need. And of course, the kids are also small. So it's also normal when you have a newborn, for example, you can't prioritize yourself when the newborn needs to be fed. Um, so for me, it was a time to empty my head at the time of writing the book. And then the time of editing the book that actually happened almost 1.5 years later, that it got completed. I mean, editing took a long time because I didn't want to just publish blogs. I wanted it to read as a book. It's taught me a lot in terms of my crafting way, of my writing and how do you transform things. So also from a professional point of view, it helped me to grow and look like how could I do it? How could I set it up in a way that people can use it and come back to it again and again? Because I don't want it to be a one-off read, but more something like you could open in the evening and read a page and feel comforted, hopefully. So how would I do that? And I read a lot. I love reading anyway, but I read a lot of books on parenting as well to see if my theories are confirmed or not. And I reread books as well that I've read when my kids were younger and now that they are older. Like, did this book actually help me feel more supported and liberated, or more guilty and inadequate?
I was going through the book in these days and looking at the structure of the book. And first of all, I like the idea of air, earth, and four main, how do you call them in English?
Elements, like
Four
four elements.
elements, yes, four elements. I was surprised to have a lot of recipes at the end of the fourth part of the book, because I was like, wow, I also love cooking. It was really nice to see extra recipes. But what I found, what resonates with me is that you can actually scroll through the book, and by reading small pieces of text, you can actually say, oh, this resonates with me right now. So I would go to this short story and read this short story. So you don't have to go through the whole book or read a lot of text. You can actually pick some parts of it which are right now in this moment sort of feel interesting. I would go into that. Was that
I'm very happy to hear that feedback, because this is exactly the type of the type of reading that I wanted it to be. And I had feedback from another mother who's also a writer, and she said, I skipped a lot of the baby time because my kids are older, but I actually found a lot of things that I can relate to with older ages. So it's nice to hear it from more people that it does actually work the way I intended it to work.